Who knows what cards we're going to use, but this is a love reading and we're going to get to the bottom of whatever your situation is, okay? Situationship, not seen them in ages, madly in love, committed forever. I've got a message for you somewhere. Wow. Okay, it's going to be one of those readings. We begin, oh my God, we begin with refusal of the call, the dream thief. That's interesting. And that comes together with mindful, which is like a collective groupthink. It feels, and this is part of the reason why I got up this morning and thought I'm going to do this love reading, because it feels like, you know how if that was, I know it's really weird because it's like a human kind of crossed with an eagle, but if it was an eagle and it had talons, it feels like we need to absolutely get a grip of something which is very like that, like a crazy fever dream feeling of a connection, okay? The kind of thing where you have a dream about it all night, where you're almost there but you're not there, and you're like and you wake up and it's like, what the was I dreaming about? What was that? Why? And what do I know now? I can barely remember anything. I've got myself a coffee. Go get yourself a drink. Pause the video if you need to. We're in it to win it. We're in it for the long haul. Okay. Tell us, please, 3 things that we need to know right now. Using the Lover's Path Tarot for this. 3 things that we need to know right now. Oof. Okay. That's quite a good card to get, to be honest. Oof. There's something about seeing through a veil. We've got the Page of Cups coming in as our first card. Now, this is great in a love reading, obviously, because it's something. It's like the beginning of feelings. It can be an apology. It can be that someone literally just asked you out with a small text, or it's a page. It's the most junior. I'm also getting a feeling of being locked in your own head. We've got the 8 of Swords that goes with it, but it's not the worst place to be. So I think I've got a message here for people who are very A-type, and you will know yourself if you are, yeah? You know, I recently asked in the Sagittarian monthly reading whether people unpacked their luggage as soon as they got back from holiday. If you're the kind of person who definitely does that, this message is likely for you. If you're the kind of person who maybe ruminates, overthinks, or is just very keen to get things sorted, to work things out, if you have that A-type personality, if you're quite disciplined individual, then there's something about having that tight grip on it, having that feeling of, if you're holding on to someone right now, and it feels like when a bird of prey is holding on to, you know, whatever they're carrying, I just get a message from Spirit to say drop it. And I don't know why yet, okay? If you feel that you have a grip on this, that you want a grip on this, that you are, you know, when you get that kind of, I must know, a bit like a sort of when you're watching a mystery film and or reading a book and you're just like, I want to know. If I don't know, my life is not complete. Your life needs to be complete before you know. Channeled message. Your life needs to be complete before you know. And before you can be sure about this person. Because these feelings here, they look a little bit like there's love, but there's confusion and love mixed together in a sort of rather beautiful painting. But that painting is still on the wall and it's still a mystery. Or maybe even for some of you still in the attic, if this is an X, it will be a feeling of where is the painting? Let me know in the comments, okay? This is going to be a weird reading. We're going to channel messages for you. They're going to be really specific, but hey, this is what we need to do if we want to get into things. So if this connection for you were a painting, what would it look like and where is it in your house? Put that in the comments, okay? Maybe drop your star sign with it as well. I'm fascinated to know, because I think once you kind of meditate on that, it's going to tell you something about where you're at, okay? I love this. Okay. 3 more things, please. 3 more messages, if you have them. 3 more messages. Oh my God. I love that. And I get that as well. Holy moly, and high drama at noon. We've got the 10 of Cups. Of course we have. Mars in Pisces, chicka chicka, you put the phone down first. You know, eating pasta in bed together on a weekend. Let's go and get the Sunday papers and walk the dog. All of that lovely glitter, unicorns. Woohoo! There is, oh my God, this is so weird. This is maybe for a different cohort of people. There is so much love potential and opportunity. It could almost make you drunk with love, okay? You know the potential of this. You feel the power of it. And I always think of this as like those Skittles adverts when, because it's Mars in Pisces. If Mars hit the rainbow, that kind of thing, okay? So there's something here about your identity, your boundary being, it would be very easy in this connection for you to merge with the other person, or for them to take over a part of your kind of waking consciousness, you know. We get the 6 of Pentacles, and for you it feels like 2 things, right? One, there's going to be an opportunity to receive, and you may not be in receiving mode at the moment, especially if you, and this is probably to those of you who are in the camp where you've been waiting for the other shoe to drop, or you've had a difficult love pattern experience before, or you know that you have had a scarcity mindset. There is an opportunity here for somebody to, and I'm getting like a water wheel that's being reversed and then starting again. So I may be talking here to the water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, I don't know, or whether this is just subconscious. It feels like the power could be generated in this relationship again. Almost as if the Wheel of Fortune was a water wheel. It can be reversed and it can get going again, okay? Whatever that means to you. And then that shows up. The 7 of freaking swords. Holy macaroni. Okay. Tell us then. Let's take a shadow card on it. I've got so many decks in front of me because I just knew that every single available possible channeling tool was going to be required. Okay, let's take a shadow card for the 7 of Swords. If this resonates with you, please do explore and use the new hype button. I know I did not know about the hype button, even as a YouTuber myself, for a long time. It's on your phone. Go to the like button and press it if you like, and scooch along past remix, clip, any of that crap that you never use, and then you'll see hype, and you will get the chance, if this is resonating, to do me a massive solid and hype this video It really helps it in the YouTube universe, and it would be massively appreciated. Okay. Oof. 8 of Wands as a shadow card. I brought my special reading glasses today just for you lot. These are my expensive readers, not the £1.29, but my actual ones from the optician, so I can see it properly. Right. 8 of Wands, Mercury and Sagittarius. So think about Mercury, that's communication. Think about Sagittarius, Jupiter, like this. Elastic communication. So for the 7 of Swords, we're getting the 8 of Wands. Oof. Right, in for this camp, for you lot. If you're, and some of you are definitely having chunky text exchanges here, or you did, and maybe you're rereading them because I'm seeing them, okay? You know when you, like, it's like a mile of text. And that could have been just in the beginning of this relationship. It could be now, it could be that you're reading them over, I don't know. But it could be email for some of you if you are geographically separated from this person. But I'm seeing a block of text, and that this is a thing, and that you have to work this out. I'm going to take another couple of cards on this, but this is about what you say when you communicate. And I feel like it's not verbal communication. I feel like, itchy ear, it's written communication. And we're going to take Price of Love Oracle, okay? Because this deck is so powerful. Because we really want to, I want to know, even if you don't. I do, okay? Tell me, please. 7 of Swords, 8 of Wands, something in the way that you communicate, something in the actual words. I'm also getting invisible ink, which is something that, yes, which is something I get when things are in communication are a bit ephemeral. I can never pronounce the name of this card. It's Portuguese word. Let me just find it in here because it actually tells you how to do it. Okay. So Darji. Hit me up in the comments if you already knew that word, because I didn't before I bought this deck. So Darji. It's about learning to live with a missing piece of information. I know. It's about, and I'm going to check this. Yeah, longing, missing, desiring something that may return, may not return, melancholic nostalgia, Portuguese. It's the energy that's hard to capture in English. A puzzle of a beautiful sunset brings memories, but a few pieces are still missing. But you still like that sunset. What I'm getting from this is you may not need to know the missing piece of information that you think you need to know yet, okay? You have a hunch, this group of people, that there is something you're not being told, okay? Your hunch, especially if you're a water sign, I would say, or have heavy water sign placements or dealing with a water sign, your hunch is correct that there's something you're not being told. I then get manipulation. Ho-ho! With that 7 of Swords. God. I get money versus love. That's interesting. It may not literally be about money, it's about energy. You're dealing with somebody who is distracted by something and you don't know what that something is, but you can feel the level of distraction. You're picking up, because I suspect I'm dealing with empaths in this. Definitely am, actually. Don't suspect it, I know it. Let's just get it out there. You are not wanting to have the hunch that you have, that there is something to know, but at the same time there is something to know, and the card knows there's something to know, but the universe says, okay, this is a decision for you, group of empath people, that you need to make. Is this good enough? Is the potential good enough? Is the existing dynamic good enough? Is what's happened so far good enough? And only you can know that you can actually live without that missing piece of information, because, and this is what the universe does, when you can live without the answer, you will get the answer. I know. Who invented all that? It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy, but it's true. So if you're in that camp and you feel, and also you could be in both of these camps, right? Because you could have these three cards that we had earlier, the Page, the Eight of Swords and the Queen of Swords, and you could be that A-type personality that you are practically Agatha Christie, right? And I'm speaking to the Scorpios here as well, because I know what you lot are like, Scorpio. I mean, I would hire you as my private detective, because you can just find things out, and you want to find things out, and you get into the underworld of things. So I think I'm speaking to a few Scorpios. If both of these fit with you, you probably have Scorpio in your chart quite heavily, okay? And that means you may be A-type researcher brain along with empath mixed together in this casserole of needing to know. The breakthrough happens when you're happy with the missing piece picture. Can you still appreciate the sunset if some pieces are missing? Now, let's face it, we've got to put our big boy and girl pants on here. The answer might be no, in which case there's two ways to go with it. One, you're going to have to try harder. Or two, you're going to have to tell it to jog on, because it could drive you crazy. Okay? Woof-a-doodle-doo. I knew it was going to be big, as the actress said to the bishop. All right, 3 more cards, please. Yes. Using another deck. So you could be linked with all of this or only relate to one bit of it, okay? There will be an extended reading. In the extended reading, I'm going to use 2 decks that I have that are the same. And we're going to do a you and them reading as well, okay? Plus more freaky channeling. Just gets freakier and freakier. Okay. Tell me, please, what's this message? Who's it for? Oh, I want to drop the F-bomb, but I won't. Oh, my Lord. This may be for all of you, this message, actually, because it's now gone. It's gone widescreen. Okay. God, I love that card, actually. Oh my God. Right, it's one for the witches, definitely, and the wizards. One for the witches and the wizards. Oof. Hello, right. God. We need to look at the top and the bottom card as well, but we're going to do that in a minute. Don't let me forget. I do that, and then people will like email me and go, you never did look at the I'm like, oh shit, never did. Right. I think some of you can guess what card is coming up next, so don't cheat. Put it in the comments, okay? I'm going to give you a second, going to have a sip of my coffee. Put it in the comments, don't cheat. Are you ready? I didn't guess this, by the way. The Tower. Isn't that the most gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous tower? This is the Divine Deco Tarot. Okay, so not just the pretty skyline. This is, and we're talking here 1, 2, 3 major arcanas for this particular group, so I think this could include everybody. but we'll see what we get into. The Tower is it's where the universe has been maybe dropping hints to you, especially if you were in the group with the missing piece and the 10 of Cups and the 6 of Pentacles and the 7 of Swords. The universe has been, you know, if you were walking through the woods, the universe has been dropping bits of gingerbread for you to find your way along, but not really enough. And then the universe sometimes, and I'm seeing this as Scorpio season as well, when that happens, which is about a month. That's not even that, 3 weeks. Or just out of nowhere, to be honest. Okay, this is a fairly timeless reading. So either Scorpio season or from left field, without warning. I know. This is going to come in and split a situation open. That has a benefit, because I feel like for some of you, you're going to, what I'm getting is a really weird channel now. And some of you may have an ornament that looks like this. Please let me know in the comments. This is like, I can't even describe it. It's like, I'm thinking a couple of things. Imagine a Terry's chocolate orange, you know, all the segments, but like a lotus flower made of glass or something. And it kind of, you pull it apart and you can now see the actual core that's inside. That's the channeled message that I'm getting. OMG. That's difficult because you see all the inner workings of everything, but incredibly useful, because we've got the King of Swords down here. And the King of Swords is someone who, and I've said this before in love readings, right? It's the Ice King that is under the ice, or behind the glass, or behind the veil if it feels more flexible. And we're really at the moment, we're really dealing with that kind of level of channeling, okay? Whether this is a solid surface between you and this person that you can see through, or whether it's a flexible see-through surface like a veil. For some of you it's glass, for some of you it's ice, for some of you it's a veil, okay? And speaking of which, we've got the Enchanted Veil, and we've got the Enchanted Veil Oracle, and I'm going to take one for the King of Swords. Yes. So the other message that I get is that you're going to get, you're going to get what you need to know in a kind of a sort of a download out of this situation. It's like, it's revelations, but not how you normally know it. It's revelations, not answers. Okay, revelations, not answers. I know, but we're talking the finer points here. Okay, yeah, I love this. For the King of Swords, we get the Fountain. Now, you are the Fountain here, not the King of Swords, okay? Because there is no universe in which the King of Swords is the Fountain. King of Swords might have built the Fountain, or be the architect of the Fountain, or run a maintenance program for the Fountain. But you are the Fountain. Do you remember the water wheel? Okay, water wheel, fountains, all that good stuff. So you are the Fountain. So this means that regardless of what's going on in your situation, that you are still giving out love. You know, there's an outpouring of love, you're giving out love, you're feeling love, you're being your empathic self, you're kind to animals and people, and I don't know, you're plugged in, you've got your witchy side, and I mean that in the best way. You've got your magic, you're not giving it up for anyone, you know, literally and metaphorically. And what's happening with this is that this fountain that you've got is like giving out this energy to the universe, and I keep getting animals, so a lot of you are like massive animal lovers. I'm getting like woodland folk, I'm getting a lot of the woods as well, but also dogs and cats and fish and mice and all sorts of stuff, whatever, you know, it's like a menagerie, okay? And then what happens is, this is non-negotiable for you, because this is your lifeblood, this is your very existence and why you're here. It's your purpose on the planet. It doesn't have to be defined. You don't need to be working for an animal shelter, although you may have done and volunteered for one. But in general, it's just the way you feel. It's being a light worker. It's being, I hate words for it because there aren't really words for it. It's just being a human, okay? So don't stop doing that no matter what is going on in your situation. And then we get the castle, which is protection being necessary, but knowing when to open up as well, okay? Don't close yourself down. This doesn't mean that you're open to bad behaviour or that you're open to dismissiveness or whatever, but don't close yourself down. The natural optimism, the light that shines within you, don't close it down, okay? And this is not some kind of cheesy Facebook, don't dim your light, baby. I'm talking the thing that makes us all gods in ourselves, that kind of thing. The collective, the whatever that sparkly thing is that we can't put our finger on. You got loads of it, let it pour out, okay? And then the castle is telling you there will be a time for protection. There is certainly that, because we did have the Queen of Swords as the first card in the first three. But also there will be times when protecting yourself, and over-investigating, by the way, is a form of self-protection. Can't get this card off the table. That's over-protecting yourself because you can't even see your own way out. Don't imprison yourself in it. So there's a time for opening up, for being vulnerable and open to the truth, and there is a time for shutting back and having your boundaries and whoosh, closing the gate. That sounded more like a whip, didn't it? Ka-kung, whoosh, ka-kung. I don't know. Then we have divine timing. Okay? Imagine if you had that growing out of a tree. That is so cool. Time is both a friend and a thief. Use it wisely. Okay. Your timing at the moment must not be about your human calendar. Okay? So if you're sweating about, I don't know how long it's been since someone replied, or how long you've been in whatever situation, or the calendar or the months or whatever, it's none of that. This is divine timing, okay? And I don't have the High Priestess here, but I'm getting High Priestessy vibes, okay? Sometimes I get vibes of cards that aren't on the table. So I'm dealing with High Priestesses here. And it feels as if you're going to know when it's time. You're going to know when it's time to open up. You're going to know when it's time to shut down. So don't. And you're also going to know whether you can trust this person, because we had that manipulation card. And some of you may have been involved with people who were quite mentally manipulative in the past. So you're right to have reservations, okay? But there's a time for the reservations. There's a time for opening up. Next to the King of Swords, we get the Chariot. 2 horses, 1 ass, okay? You can have your doubts and you can be very positive all at the same time. This is a situation that requires something that humans actually are much better at than they think, where contradictions run together in a sort of dualistic timeline. As humans, we're kind of brought up as kids in the education system, you know, there's good and there's bad. There's good and there's evil. There's kind of a lot of things that, you know, your most common dilemmas are not between whether to do something good or something bad, because generally you're going to choose something good. Most people will. Not everyone, but most people. Your dilemma is when you have to choose between something bad and something bad, or something good and something good, or something in that weird grey area in between. At the moment, the situation that you're in hangs in the balance of both, and it's neither. It's almost neutral. So this charioteer, or you, rides these two horses with one arse and keeps going on the road. Okay? The best way to do this is not just to make this like, oh my God, I'm just going to ride these two horses with one arse, but to make a circus act of it and be like, yeah, I'm riding two horses with one arse. I don't know how to mime. Anything could happen. It's like Magic Mike. You've got kind of, you know, woohoo! Lassos seem to be in it today. Woohoo! We've got one horse here, we've got an acrobatic horse there, and I'm in the middle, and it's all really exciting. So make it something where the confusion is part of your journey, okay? And again, I must reiterate, if it's making you feel bad all the time, that's time to jog that off, you know? Cheers. You can say stop and get off that at any time you want to. Okay, then the Water Wheel of Fortune. Very much feel this card, because truly the Wheel of Fortune is when you know it's neither good or bad. You're just balanced on a pin in the middle, but you're willing to spin that wheel. Okay, you're willing to spin the wheel. You're not over-invested, you're not under-invested, you're not over-interested, you're not disinterested, you're willing to spin the wheel, okay? And then just in case we'd forgotten he existed, along comes the Knight of Pentacles just at the end to remind you to keep everything steady. You know what the Knight of Pentacles is like. Mr. Boring on his horse, but also always a message to say, keep it real, keep it steady, one day at a time, one step at a time. And the other thing I'm getting is something that came up in a reading the other day, and that it was about stepping forward and the step coming up to meet you, and not, it's like when I said, when you're happy with not having the missing piece or the guarantee or the thing that joins the dots, let's say joining the dots, when you're happy that you don't any longer need to do that, the next step appears and you take it. And this happens again and again, but it's getting you somewhere. Okay, this is a choice of destiny, each step. God, I'm glad I had that coffee. Okay, I'm going to have a quick look. I want to have a quick look at a couple of shadow cards. So in the extended reading, I'm going to use my two identical decks. I know, I love doing this. For a you and them side-by-side reading, and we'll just see what that brings up, because who knows, I don't know what that's going to bring up because I haven't actually done it yet. Oh my God. Top and the bottom of the deck. I've remembered. I'm going to do that at the end. Okay. Wow. The three shadow cards we get are the Sun. Don't fly too close to the Sun. The Sun is about revelations, okay? Yes, you want revelations, but you're not actually targeting towards them, okay? Remember, when you stop looking, they come. The Tower needs to break down. Things can't stay as they are. And the Knight of Swords. Don't be too aggressive about getting to the truth in any way, shape or form. Let's have a look at the top and the bottom, as the actress said to the bishop. Oh God. Oh. Remember in the chariot where I said you're riding two horses with one arse? Oh my lord. We got the Three of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. Two very different cards. One, this will get to the very bottom of your own shadow side, okay? The bottom of your heart and the heart of your bottom. And I'll be looking at that in the extended as well. Not your bottom, but the shadow side of what we get in the you and them reading. Whew. Okay, and then the Ten of Pentacles, which I think that's pretty brilliant to get actually. The potential for what I call a real life meat and potatoes relationship, okay? But it's going to, love brings up anything unlike itself to be healed, and it's going to bring things up for you, and don't be afraid of that. Go refresh your drink. I'm going to go do the extended right now because we're doing it with these cards, but we're doing the you and them reading as well. Oh my God. I'll see you on the other side. Namaste.